Okay. I see what happened. We weren't live before. Now we are. One of these days I'll figure YouTube out. It'll take some fiddling. Yep, this trend's going to stop on us. We're going to consolidate one more bar, it looks like. If that gets above the 20 period, I'm just going to shut this down and wait for a better setup. Or, not the 20 period, the 200 period. A bit tongue-tied this morning. Head's not
Yeah, you just
totally
went
good.
live on YouTube.
Finally. Oh, geez, man, this is going to break out on us. Wowzer. Keep going. I was able to flip that reverse button open to capture some of that loss back, but man, I'm about ready to just close that because this is looking weak all of a sudden. Oh, there we go. Just a pause. Cool. 5 minute takes us right to that 200 period, and that's where I'm expecting a pause here on my 10-second chart. And if it, those 2 wicks don't look so hot, I'm gonna close that.
Now I have a question. I'm looking at, I think it's SPY 500, and it's at 397. What is that? Am I seeing something
This
wrong?
is SPY. SPY is it's an ETF for the S&P 500 futures, so it tracks along with the ES. And this little yellow line here is my 200 period moving average. Most of the time, people would use a 200 moving average on a daily chart. Let me turn off my lines as kind of a magnet, and you can see, just before looks like on the 16th and 15th there, we rejected the 200 period, so we're in a bearish trend. Most of the time, people would use that 200 period on a daily chart. But if you look at even a 1 minute chart, it is a significant point where price is controlled. So you'll see we ran right up to it, bounced back under it, came back, put a bar through it. So we're bullish now. So you can use a 200 period on just about every time frame, and oftentimes you'll see price has some sort of interaction with it on every time frame. So it's a great guide for knowing what the sentiment is on the longer term, or per 200 candles is what you're looking back for, and it just gives you the trend. So generally, 5 minute, 1 minute, we're bullish.
Would you not want to trade on that instead of the ES, because the ES is much larger?
Right. So depending on what's going on. So if it's a choppy market like it is today, that's where I'd prefer to trade futures, because I can look at that 10-second chart. Usually I can make quick enough decisions on it to where I can make pretty efficient scalps. Generally, I do a lot better when I'm not distracted and streaming and talking at the same time. So when I'm focused on it, and if I'm just quiet and to myself, I can take advantage of those quick little moves and then run every bit of this chop and just use it to generate cash. But the point is, if you get to a smooth trend, and we're starting to walk into a trend here with SPY, by the way, sometimes it's more efficient to go and trade option spreads, or you can use like debit spreads. So you can use minimal risk for maximal returns, and have a relative cushion so that if it starts to run against you, you can close it for break even or very small loss. You can go straight options. I like to go out of the money with SPY because I'm out for percentage more than going into risk, and I'll look at the deltas. The delta on those options, if I'm running like anywhere from 3 to 5 days out to expiration, I'm looking for no higher than really 0.07. Mainly because if I'm wrong and that position starts to run against me, I'm not going to lose as fast as I'm going to have it. I can get out of it with a minimal loss because it's not going to decline in value as fast as it would appreciate in value, because when you are starting with lower delta, the delta can increase a higher percentage than it can decrease. So like if you look at a few strikes down or out of the money from where you're looking at that sweet spot or 0.07 delta, you'll notice that it doesn't fall very much per strike. But if you look above or towards the money, it actually exponentially grows delta, and that delta is the amount of effect every dollar move is going to have on your premium. So if you're looking at a 0.07 delta for entry, a dollar move is only going to make you about $7. But if you're in that contract and it's 3 to 5 days out, your risk is probably anywhere from like $38 to $42. So, that's a quick percentage return on a very low cost option. That's the
Gotcha.
idea. So it's kind of finding the
But
sweet
you
spot in a delta.
but you can't trade. You can't. That's not that's not a future. You can't trade futures on that SPY, right? On the
Um,
one that's 397.
no. So you're going to be looking at if you're looking at anything relative to it, it's going to be that MES. The
Okay.
only difference is the delta on MES contracts and any futures contracts for that matter, delta is fixed. So delta is going to be your tick. So if your tick is worth $1.25, that's it. Your delta is fixed. So it's
Gotcha.
a lot of different trading style because your risk is going to be very similar to trading at the money SPY options. So like you're going to be looking at minimum liquidity or minimum margins $55 a contract on the MES. Um, Try to put that same money into an at the money option on SPY, and you're going to be looking at 0 days at best. And the delta is outrageous, but the time decay is even more outrageous.
Yeah.
So I mean, seconds tick by and it loses value if it goes flat. So it's like you really can't take advantage of chop at the money unless you're really stinking quick with those options. It's going to be better to go with the futures trade instead. All right, I'll try and keep an eye out. If you guys are joining us on YouTube there, and I know it's a little bit delayed, if you were to sign up with us, you get live data with us. But on YouTube, I'm not gonna be above answering questions and comments and stuff. So feel free. I'm watching it, and then I also gotta watch the Discord comments section here.
I'm over here in Pennyland looking at it right now.
Aha.
See if I can't put something up over there. The
Hi, up,
interesting day
double
here.
top.
Hello.
Hello there. Someone was talking.
Was that meant Cork? Who was that?
It might have been talking to a cat again.
No.
We get it. We love animals too.
Oh, that's Zooey. Hey.
There you go. All right, looks like we're getting our pullback here. Now, here's where I start to make my chart dirtier and dirtier and dirtier by the minute. So we can see there is a line of support here from the previous high. And secondary support's going to be right here, just below that. So like 397.40, price is sitting there now. This is where we start to see if this trend is going to actually break out or if this is going to be a fake breakout.
397.21 is about the halfway point of that big candle on the 5-minute chart.
Yes. And essentially, the way we look at this is if we close, and this one just started, if we were to close that 5-minute candle like it is right there, inverted hammer, we get a short-term bearish reversal and probably a retracement target down here to about 395.80, 395.90, somewhere in that range, about half of this bar here. And if it gets into a trend where it starts to fall down, it can retrace that entire range. So we'll be just trading inside a range on a bar. Being that today is not a 0 day, it's a little less likely to be a trend day. But then again, we had 2 days in a row where we had a big opening bearish trend on an options expiration day where it just consolidated, closed range right in the middle of that stuff. And then yesterday it was just a big old bullish trend. So if we look a little bit further out here, we got kind of the makings of an M top here, right? We had a high close yesterday, or just before the close, we got high yesterday. Got high in the pre-market, didn't quite break that resistance. So I'm looking for more bearish trades than bullish trades here because this looks like an M top to me. So that's why I'm looking at mainly taking my entries bearish in the MES over there. So if I start to see a trend form and it starts to cruise through about that 11 o'clock hour, then we can start looking at trading the bearish momentum scalp for scalp, pullback for pullback, and just run an MES contracts. Or if you look at least a week out on SPY is where I would recommend. If you've got a small account and you're kind of nervous about trading options, look at debit spreads. Do a little research on it. Do some reading. Debit spreads are great because you can really minimize your risk. So
You have to have the right account to do debit spreads. You
yes,
can't do that like Webull options level 2.
nope, you have to have level 3 options. That's the only thing. So
Right.
if you're getting into your Robinhood broker, which is where I trade spreads, you've got to have that level 3. So you've got to ask them for it, and you've got to talk to them about it, because they're going to ask you some questions in your profile that you might have to fudge the truth on a little bit to get there, but not recommending that. But trade within your own reason. But if you wanted to reduce risk, do a lot of research into trading debit spreads, because it can really do some good things for a small account. I've done really good things with debit spreads, starting with small accounts, and here I am, just no longer having to work a day job. Let's just say that.
That's exactly right. Listen to Jeremy. He's the sensei. I tell him he's not.
Hi-ya!
He's AI. His results are not typical. Anybody can scalp on a 10-second chart like him. That is attainable, but you gotta do a lot of practice, and it's great to have somebody in the room that knows how to do that and is willing to share their information with you. So
I just need to get that last bit of programming in the skull here to make it so I can do it better live, because that's the only hang up I'm having. It's like a little tricky to do it live.
With repetitions, it obviously gets easier and easier to do debit spreads on a broker while you're watching a screen, because it's like a bunch of different buttons, it seems, or it used to be on Robinhood.
So yeah, with the way Robinhood does it now is you open options chain, and you'll see a little plus sign next to the options. So you'll go to let's say you're doing a call debit spread. You go click on the buy tab, and then you look on the right side of all the strikes, and you'll see a little plus sign. So for a debit spread out of the money, you would buy. Let's say you bought the hypothetically, let's say you bought the $400 call, and you sold the $405 call. So you would click on that little plus sign, so it adds it to the queue, or you're building a position, and then you go and click on the sell button, and then you'll see those plus signs next to that strike, but you'll see the one that you bought, or the one you're intending to buy, grayed out, because you can't buy and sell the same thing. It's just a moot point. You got to have a spread. So look, $5 up, you sell the you sell the
1 up, 2 up.
the 405 call option, so to speak, and what you end up with is a call debit spread. So you acquired some premium selling the short leg, and you're paying premium buying the long leg. So the premium that you get for selling the short leg is going to offset some of the premium you spent on the long leg. So the idea is, if you're running $5 wide, I kind of have a rule for myself where I don't like to be anything more than 4-to-1 ratio, meaning if it's $5 wide, I'm not going to risk more than $1 on that spread. My ideal position, and when I take debit spreads long term out, like we're talking 30 to 45 days out on a spread, I'm looking at a $5 wide with an 8-to-1 ratio, or no more than 50 cents premium paid for that spread. So I'm looking to sell enough premium to offset quite a bit of premium, or about half the premium on the long position. So sometimes it's a little tricky to find those, because they're so far out of the money. You got to wonder, okay, well, what's price action going to do? The intent is you're not going to hold that thing to expiration. You're not going to hope that it closes in the money at all. You're just looking at the percentage swing. So you're looking as those strikes get closer to the money, or the price gets closer to your spread bracket, essentially, the price or the value of the premium between the two strikes is actually going to increase quite a bit. So if you're looking at most of my alerts, I'm looking at those $5 wides. I'm going 8-to-1, and my target is 100% return. So I want to be able to close that position for $1. So I'm going to take a 50 cent per contract return on a 50 cent risk. So I'm going to take 100% return. That's usually my target. if I see momentum's falling off or whatever equity I'm in is just not moving the way I want it to, I'll try to take at least some profit. Typically, it's around 20% on average. If I see it start to go against me, sometimes it'll break even. Pretty rare, but usually I'll take some sort of profit out of that. The idea is to enter those. There's a few other pieces of the strategy. I try to do it on daily price action where it's a swing low.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I see that.
I just sat down when it happened.
All of a sudden we got bullish.
Oh, all of a sudden,
The
Ape
idea
is
with
now on TOS.
wait, what now?
Ape is now on TOS.
Oh wow, ApeCoin.
Not everybody had it.
Right.
That's basically a split, isn't it? All those guys holding AMC. Jesus.
Oh yeah.
I have a guy. He's got 15,000 shares.
Not ApeCoin. You're talking about the Ape dividend or where they give you
Dividend thing, whatever that thing is from
preferred share or
AMC.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all going to come out sometime in the wash. Somebody will,
I've been saying this for years, and it's like you look at AMC and go. I don't even do fundamental analysis. I don't. I'm a technical trader. Go look at the book on AMC and tell me what the debt to asset ratio is on it, and then you'll know why I don't even care to mess with it. I'll scalp it now and then if I can sell options on it, but other than that, I'm not really messing with it. Got a little background talk from somebody here.
Zooey. This is interesting.
Yeah, we're running voice. This is how we roll. We hang out, we talk to each other.
And it's trending again.
It's trending, yeah.
All right, fellas, I gotta get out of here. Thank you for everything. Good luck in the market.
Yeah,
Hey,
man,
bud,
thanks.
hang in there, man. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you there. I think we're gonna get
I'll
everybody
figure it out.
I think so, man.
I think between all of us here at Bullish Bears, I think we can help everybody figure it out.
Absolutely.
All right, take care.
You too, man. Have a good day. Stay safe. Thanks
Yeah.
again for your service.
See you, man. This is looking
Yeah,
like
Stone, you remind me of another futures trader I know. His name is Singletary, man. You got that deep voice like him.
he's got that golden radio announcer voice, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
I do appreciate it. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go.
You should look at doing voiceovers.
I have in the past. I've done a lot of stuff. Believe me, I'm old.
We're gonna call him DJ Stone now.
Y'all are funny.
Hey,
Look
Jeremy.
at this 5-minute candle.
I'm looking at that.
Jer-
Go ahead.
Jeremy, my question was, I guess I'm concerned about like the timing, how quick I'm going to be able to take out debit spreads on a broker. I guess that's the short version of the question.
As far as
get that baby so,
So like
much.
if you're just scalping, it's a simple hot button click, right? But if you're doing options, you got to click 3 or 4 different things and pay attention to 10 things.
right. So
And we're working on that too.
yeah, with spreads, when I primarily developed that strategy for myself. I mean, it's not, I didn't develop the strategy. It's been around for a long time. Let me mute this guy. Hang on. Getting too much. There we go. Crosstalk. So when I started using that strategy more, and when I developed my 8-to-1 or no worse than 4-to-1 ratio, I was still working a full-time job when I started trading those, and the idea was I could literally just set limit orders to not only fill them but also to close them. So if I'm distracted by work, and I was a mechanic, so I mean I was really into my work, I really had to be focused on it. I could just keep an audio alert out to where when my order fills, it would give me a little alert, and then I can sit there and put my phone open real quick, put in the order for limit to sell it to close, and set it as good till canceled, and walk away. And if by my lunch hour, if things were starting to trend the wrong way or go against me or something, I could certainly close it, try again later, or if I thought it was just a little pullback and I think it would continue to trend, sit with it, keep my order open. So it was really easy. I didn't have to watch much. It was a trade that I could do on autopilot, and the idea was I wouldn't be just doing it on one equity. I'd be doing this on probably up to 10 things at a time. I'd be watching different equities I'd be running this on, and typically I like to do it on sectors. So I'll look at sector rotation. I'll find out what's rotating. A recent one I had was, long after I'd quit working, but natural gas over here, UNG. I got in on this trend right here, and it was just a glorious swing trade. I mean, I just literally autopiloted that. I could go and do whatever the heck I wanted while this was running. And I went in, I think it was right around 22, 23 bucks with a spread way out of the money. I think I had the, what the highest one I could get was like 28.32 or 28.33, I think it was. And I was able to ride that debit spread all the way up this trend, and literally had my limit order set at 100%. And then I actually only closed half that position for 100% return, and then closed the other half of the position for 150% return, for a total of 125% return on the entire position, which was pretty nice. But that's the kind of thing I look for. I look for sector rotation, find something that I know is going to make a long-term reversal, and just run into those spreads. The hard part is, getting your broker to allow you level 3 options trading in order to build those spreads. That was probably the hardest part of getting into that. And I had to basically fudge a little bit at the time for my experience levels in my profile, and they just turned it over. So I've been doing it ever since.
And boom, like that, we're green. Gotta love the micros.
Yep. This is setting up a third leg here. So we got first leg, second leg, and this is going to be third leg right up to about, I think it might stop at about 399.50. Just to be honest with you, that's where my key zone is.
Well, I was up on the day, and then that ES squeeze ate my lunch.
Oh no.
So yeah, it's okay. So we're back green, small green right now, but
Green's green.
yeah. Yeah, well, I flipped back to SQQQ and MQ.
Nice.
I'm more familiar with SQQQ. ES, I'm gonna have to take some getting used to with that one. I understand how SQQQ moves.
Right.
Right. And then we understand the ES pretty good around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we love that ES, man.
The S&P or the SPX, man. It's what I like about it is you can find all the stocks that move together. You can trade them, and you find the inverse, and you can trade them. That's the same.
Well, that's why I use the SQQQ for the inverse for the NQ and the MNQ. I have all the whole dollar marked, and I have I use the RSI, MACD, and stochastic. Basically, I've got the oversold, overbought areas where basically I've got it pretty much memorized. Every time it crosses certain lines, and I've got them marked, is when it tends to go the opposite direction. And then also I keep my volume bar marked in the 1 minute. Anytime it's below 200,000, I don't trade it. It's too easy to push the wrong way without a logical manner.
Right. Good
Well,
points.
cool.
Good stuff.
I like hearing some stuff like that.
Well, like I said, I'm still new to all this. 2 months in. I'm blowing a few trial accounts, but overall okay.
So,
but I've got to. Yeah.
You haven't been just trading for 2 months.
No. I've been trading for years. I did investments for years, and then at the start of the pandemic, got into more swing trading and got a taste for that. So yeah, long story short, right now, what's really got me going on futures is that my family, we're from the States, and we do humanitarian work in Brazil, South America. And our roots are pretty deep here in South America. And my parents went through a nasty divorce, and my mother went all legal on stuff and has created all kinds of legal problems for my dad and for us. And then my daughter had a really bad accident, so really drained all the money we had, and our charitable foundation is getting dried up. So I've been using all of my money from my stocks that I've had in investment portfolio to keep going, but I realize I need to do something to that'll pull in a little bit more than just swing trading. So that's why I started looking at futures and options, which options is a whole new thing for me. But yep, so that's where I am right now. I've got to make it work. That's the thing.
What are you doing humanitarian wise? Is it a ministry? Is it a 501c3? What is it?
It is a ministry here in Brazil. We actually we moved to Brazil 10 years ago, working here. We do a combination of things of working with churches, helping to start new churches. as well as we work in what's called favelas here in Brazil, which are like slum and shanty towns.
Yeah.
Also, kind of in between a favela and the regular area is called a beco, which is kind of like houses all squeezed together, like 200 square foot homes. So we work in those two, and so we're actually, my family is actually starting to open up a counseling center here for families and troubled youth.
Very cool.
But yeah, unfortunately, like I said, this whole divorce, these divorces are just ugly, and just
Yeah.
my mother create all kinds of legal problems to where our charitable foundation says until this is resolved, we can't continue to send your support. We'll hold it. So that kind of cuts me off coming in November. So and we can't just up and come back to the States because my daughter and son-in-law are here. We've got 3 foster children, Brazilian foster children, and an adopted child, and I can't abandon them here. So I'm stuck to try to make this work.
Right.
And
Make this work. You just take your time, and the thing, you know, it's you got a little pressure on you. So
yeah,
make sure you're not. It sounds like you're doing okay. Just make sure you're not. You know, I have that pressure too, so I understand, and I've made a few mistakes doing that.
Yeah.
So just make sure that you, you know, I was in ministry for 20 years, so
but
make sure you keep your the main thing.
Yep.
And remember who you are, and just you know, keep moving forward, and you know, hang out with us because Jeremy knows a bunch of stuff. And you know, I'm
well,
really,
I'll
I'm
see
really
how
good
far I
at
can
research
do.
for beginners, but yeah, this is a good place to be because Jeremy, when it comes to options, he's got that crap down.
I love
Well,
options.
I'll see what I can do. I'm on the 7-week trial, but I'll be honest, I don't know if I've got the extra $50 a week or a month right now. So I'm just gonna have to see what I can do. You know, my hope was maybe, you know, I don't know what he does for options, see if I can make that. I don't know. Basically, my goal right now to survive, I need to be making about $4,000 a month with what we've got here. And like I said, I've been surviving on our stocks and stuff like that, but that's
Yeah.
starting to dry up.
Yeah,
Those will pretty much be done by November. What I've
I've
got
been
in there.
living off
So
of AMC from last year
yep.
because I got
So
out. I didn't hold that. I saw what was happening. I said, nope, getting my money now.
yep.
That's
So
my
I
dream.
picked up some new accounts here with Apex and growing those. And that's kind of the long term plan. You know, to get multiple accounts, I'd like to get up to a full 10 accounts. That way, you know, $50 turns into $500, and just take it easy on the micros.
Take it easy on the micros, but you can, you know, Jeremy does good on the micros, and a lot of people do. I've paper traded it a good bit because it was a little bit of a challenge for me to get used to. But
Mhm.
now I'm starting to level off. Actually, funny enough, because I use the MES, I use the 10-second chart that Jeremy's taught us, and I will go to my SPY options, and I will scout my SPY options
Mhm.
following along on the 10-second chart. Of course, I'm charting out where we're going, but then I'll get my entries on that 10-second chart. And
Well, here's what I need is, you know, and I think you can tell I'm 100% believer in teach a man to fish.
Yes.
But
we are
at the
too.
same time, as I
It's our motto.
as I often say, yes, teach me to fish, but at the same time, I still need to eat. So
Yep.
you know, teach me to fish, but while I'm fishing, I still need to,
A
you know, be
sandwich
making
every now
money.
and then.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And that's the thing is, I'm learning all this and doing better every day and going forward. But you know, right now, I need to be able to where I can pull enough to make sure I can keep food on the table for my family. That's the big thing.
Yeah, this is an opportunity like none others before you. This is a great place to do that. It can be very
Yeah.
risky and very difficult and challenging, but
Yeah.
we'll try to help you out the best we can.
Absolutely. And
Well, the big thing for me with options, and I'll just be honest, is I right now I don't know enough about options. For options, I just need to be told, okay, this is the option. Here's, you know, what you buy, where you sell, all that information. And I can just plug it in, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Um,
moving parts, even going directionally,
Yep.
and that's what we've been working out, and that's what we've been talking about. Because I just started it, similar to your situation, a little different though. I'm not in ministry anymore. Actually, been a professional musician all my life, so everything I did in ministry was because of music, and
nice.
it put me in a lot of positions though to do other things to help people. And then I did disaster recovery for 10 years, and the music business fell apart in New Orleans in the pandemic completely. Boom.
Okay.
And
So you're
and
from? Are you
not,
from New Orleans?
yeah, all my life. Lived elsewhere for a little bit, but this is home. And so we were in a similar situation with the pandemic. Just took everything away from us. All
Yep.
of it, everything stopped, and we couldn't do anything, couldn't play. People left town, yada yada yada. And then now that we've come back, well, right when we were coming back last year, we got hit by a hurricane. Jeremy remembers I was gone for 21 days from Bullish Bears because I had no electricity.
Yeah.
And so all that you know has put us in a bind. So I've had to live off of my trading account. I had to pull things
Yeah.
out to be able to live off, and now my account's small, and so I started learning options, and options was a little bit more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And you know, for my learning skill and everything. So but now we're getting the boat on the right track, and you know, Jeremy knows, and everybody here hears my voice knows, I am one of these people that as soon as I learn something, I want to teach everybody what I learned.
Yep.
Same here.
And
Same here.
so, and I don't like, you know, I go by the 80-20 rule, you know, the Pareto principle, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
80% of what you need, you can get from 20% of the material.
Yep.
And so, you know, I'm always looking to see, you know, like 4 or 5 different systems people I've learned from, and I've kind of put 20%, you know, the 80% I got out of the 20, I put that all together, and I've been working on creating you know, creating a method for teaching beginners and folks how to trade. And so we're working on all that. But the options was you know, I thought it would be a good move to move my funds into an options account. It was very challenging, and it has been, and I'm just starting to get the hang of it after 5 freaking months.
Yeah,
And
Well, I
so,
may, if you guys don't mind, you know, I may be sending you personal messages and
I don't
questions and
mind.
stuff, and
not at all.
working through it. But you know, I'll be honest. I need help. I'll just be honest. This is
Well,
just
I'm
another
glad
brother
you're
saying
asking.
So,
we get. I'm not kidding. You know, I'm
Yeah.
being dead serious. November, we're out of money.
Right.
So
I get it.
I've got
I get it.
I've got a small account. I've got $600-700 left in that account right now.
Okay.
And I've got my my Apex accounts. I'm working on growing those. I went ahead with the 25K, so that way all I have to do is hit 1,500 because I've done that in the past. When it was introduced to me, everyone was like, "Go for the 50,000, but you have to hit 3,000." And
Right.
what I found was, by the time the renewal came, I got so stressed because I was like, "Oh, I don't want to have to pay the renewal. I better try to get it to that 3,000 mark." Even after I was up to like 1,500, 2,000, and I would push it and I'd blow it. So this time I just went with the 25K on all of them because I know I can hit 1,500 pretty easily, and then get those 2 actual performance accounts and start using them that way. So that's kind of, you know, that's the game plan right now. My daughter, she's working. I have gracious, what do we have now? 9, 10 children.
Yeah.
So
Adopted and natural, huh?
yeah, well, we have a total of 7 natural children, and then we have adopted and well, let's see. Okay, I have 7 biological. I have a son-in-law, like two foster children, and another adopted one. So yeah, so we've got, you know, got a full house here. So my one daughter, my oldest daughter, is doing freelancing work with video editing. My son's going to start working with her, and I'm doing the options and futures. And my wife is working on voiceovers and things of that nature. She's learning how to do that. And the long term vision, honestly, my friend, is to actually open a restaurant. We have another family that wants to open a restaurant with us here. So we're trying to fix up our van so we can sell it to use the money to get this restaurant started, which will be a family venture.
Very cool.
So, you know, we're doing everything we can because we don't want to quit what we're doing. We love helping people here. But at the same time, I need to make sure my family is well taken care of.
Well, no guarantees, but we will, you know, do our best.
Yeah.
Message us, and we're
Yeah,
gonna.
I mean,
Oh, there's no such thing as a
We're gonna work.
guarantee in life.
Yeah, I know.
no.
But like I said, you know, and I don't mean to speak for Jeremy, but Jeremy knows a lot,
Yeah.
and he knows a lot about options, and the way he gets there is mainly price action. And
Yeah.
so we're really strong on price action, following the candles, and you know, charting things out, and then all the other stuff, you know, following along. And it sounds like you're doing good on the price action already, but all the other stuff comes. It just takes time.
Mhm.
And right now I'm only trading the options directionally up and down. That's it. I'm
Yeah.
not doing any spreads or anything like that. I'm
That's
starting to work on that. But
that.
anyway, I'm gonna chill out. But we're here for you, and I'm gonna let Jeremy have his stream.
Oh no, I'm not
It's
gonna
good to
let you
meet you, though.
chill.
Glad you're here.
There's more. I was
Yeah.
gonna mention, you don't need a level 3 account to trade the strangle,
No.
and that's something that you've come to be very successful with, overnight strangles. If you want to
Hit one
walk on
last
about
night.
that, and that's
Yeah.
the great thing about those is you can be in a neutral position and still profit. In fact, sometimes you can profit from even the losing position on a strangle.
hmm Yeah. This morning I did one. I did one last night, and we
Dang, it's gonna
started
reverse
off
on me.
going south, and so when we went south, I saw it, and then as it was coming back up, I took profit on my put, and I'm letting my winner ride right now.
Nice.
So yeah, I made profit on both legs,
Nice.
So
and
just
because you can do that, when the conditions are right, and I thought the conditions would be right today.
yeah.
So I waited until the end of the day. I didn't tell you that. I waited till like almost the last minute yesterday. Went and charted things out, and said okay. And then I went and looked at my positions where I was going to be. Got into the sweet spot, Jeremy, and I won a few days out. And so that seems to be working for me very well. And I'm going to start doing more of those. So I do an options 2 level. My money settles overnight, and the next day I come in and I can do it again.
Now, let me just quick question: is your name Stone? Is that your name there? I just see Bullish Stone.
Stone, yes, Stone's my name. I'm a
Okay,
moderator here at Bullish Bears.
gotcha. So we
Stone's
got
my
Stone
last
and
name,
Junior.
Right.
Gotcha.
and
And
so used to people calling me that. So just why not?
Uh,
I
And
always
you're
say I've been called worse.
I have
you're
to believe me.
leaps and bounds
Probably
ahead
this
of
week.
me.
Yeah. All
Probably
right.
this
So
week.
real quick, I went looked at the rejection off of the Globex high here. I'm thinking this will either break over as a little triple top here. So I went short, but I'm keeping it close because
Yeah, keep it close.
if we break that Globex high, I'm looking at a 15
um,
1 hour chart here with a measured move that is unreal to like
Yeah.
4070. So I might flip that real quick if it starts to break out.
Yeah, we're at that. I have those ADR ranges as well, and we're at one right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
so you go in, Jeremy. You go in on the market or the ask?
I just went
uh,
in market.
Okay.
Yeah, I flipped it real
Yeah,
quick.
Frozen,
And
I'm the ultimate beginner, so you're way ahead of me, man. But I'll keep you in my prayers. I'm here every morning, and they listen to my dumb questions. And like I said,
not dumb. They're
dude,
not dumb.
no, there's no
I'm
No.
not
dumb
even
questions here.
Do you know why I'm a
I'm not
moderator?
even
Because
trading
I
yet.
ask freaking questions every day. I asked all the
Yeah.
stupid
Yep.
questions every day. I'd stop Jeremy. Wait. What are you doing there? What's the
Hey,
control candle?
I mean,
Yeah.
Frozen,
Yeah.
I can't even read a chart yet. I barely know studies. I know nothing. The only thing I used to do was go long on options, thinking a stock was going to go up based on news, and that's all I did.
Yeah. Well, that's why I love. That's why I love futures, man. Futures, honestly, cannot be manipulated.
nope.
Yes, it has to be. They have to keep an orderly market. That's why when you look at any kind of future, like if you were to look at the SPY or the SQQQ right now, it forms triangles because they have to keep an orderly market.
Yep.
Whereas stocks, man, they
I
can be
love it.
manipulated. Short reports, they can be short reported. They can come out bad news, fake news. It can be manipulated so many different ways. You can't do that to futures. It'll move up or down based upon circumstances and news, but you're not going to get the kind of manipulation that you'll see in stocks.
Holy
Yeah,
moly, it
I'll
could
get
snap it.
there. I don't even know futures yet, so that's
This
the
is
next
great.
thing.
I love having y'all in here. Isn't this
Heck
great,
yeah,
Jeremy?
absolutely. And
We got a guy who's been doing trading for years.
I was going to reflect back on, Stone. You asked all the right questions all the time, over and over again, which is fine. I never got tired of that because
Made you a better trader.
you did it where everybody could learn from it together. That's the
Yeah.
important thing. So
Yeah.
if we don't mind you guys asking us any questions you want, all we would ask is put them in the forum, put them on the chat, or put them out here in the voice channel,
Yeah.
whatever. The idea is we're going to answer those questions for everybody, not just you, because
It
there's a
broke
lot
the
of
high.
people. Yep,
Yeah,
broke the high. I
SQQ
flipped,
just broke through. Yep.
so I flipped my order into a long order, and essentially what we
I
get
should
from
have
that
went
is
wrong. Dang, blasted.
we get what we're after anyway is that sense of community, and
Uh-huh.
that is everything to us. So if you guys, some of you guys in the background might even be too shy to ask those questions, and that's fine. It could be shy. Dang, I'm getting ripped. Anyway, I'm gonna get talking about this, and then I'll sit here and ignore my trade. But anyway, what I'm getting at is that if you have a bunch of people in the background who might be too shy to ask those questions, and you're asking them, they get to get the answer anyway. So the questions get answered whether they're confident enough to ask them or not, which is really cool. And when we get that together in front of everybody, I mean, even people with experience having that question answered over and over and over again, it just sends it home. You get to, just like I practiced trading the 10-second chart for that repetition so I can show, how to spot these patterns in a really quick time frame and just be able to glance at a chart. Developing that skill, seeing it over and over again is important. And even if it's the same question over and over again, it's not a big deal. It actually just builds that strength as far as
I consider like myself very lucky because the most important thing, obviously, that you read and hear everywhere is that you need to find mentors first.
right.
And I'm only on my third day even looking at a chart, as you know. So, I got really lucky being this early into it, finding a community and seemingly trading mentors already.
That's
Well,
awesome.
I'll go ahead and what I'll do is I'll post to the group so everyone can see what I use on the SQQQ. Basically, I'm looking at price action. I'm looking at the whole dollar marks because anytime it comes to whole dollar, it either is going to blow through it one way or the other. I use volume. If the volume is below 200K, which is the first white line, I don't trade it just because of the liquidity. I use the RSI to tell me if we're overbought, oversold. Whenever it crosses that second green line or the yellow line, I know it's going to continue on. My MACD gives me the crossover. When it crosses over, when all those indicators cross over at the same time, I know it's going to continue that direction. Then, of course, the slow stochastic. Whenever that purple line is bouncing off the green or the red, I know it's going to go the other direction. It's just a matter of time.
Yes, sir. We're
Oh,
pegged
okay.
right now for momentum, but
We can create a lot of strategies in here.
oh man.
All right,
yes.
gents, it's about that time for me. I'm out this morning. I'll watch the YouTube later, but
Absolutely.
it's been a pleasure. I'll keep
Absolutely.
my prayers frozen.
Right
And
on.
you as well, officer.
Appreciate y'all, and thank you again for your service. And then that's the other thing, we're putting this out on YouTube, so it makes it easier for everybody to get back into the replays. I know Zoom has been a pain sometimes. It's hard to get into the replays. If we just stick them straight on YouTube, the only disadvantage for people watching us on YouTube is it's delayed a few seconds. We want to provide that value for being live with our members, of course. But we're putting on YouTube for everybody to see, but also for our users to be able to go back and reference a recorded video to see, if there was any nuggets of great knowledge that were dropped in that stream, they can go back and reflect on them. So that's the idea here, is to build a library of knowledge, and then later on, we can go back as moderators. We can go back and take segments of those streams and post them up as strategy videos, so we can go back and capture the moment where the light bulb came on or where the great trade idea happened. We can explain why and break it down. That's even more valuable. So this is great to be able to build this library, and also to have this community with us, to where we get all the right questions in the right time in front of everybody, and that is going to be amazing. And if you guys like what you see on the YouTube out there, if you're just in the public, you're not signed up for us, it's fine. Hit that subscribe button, help us out, and we're gonna do things on YouTube that are gonna blow your mind. So get ready, we'll keep it coming. All right, I went long on
Hey,
this one.
Jeremy.
That. Yep, go ahead.
Can you change my name there? Just switch that to Paul. That's my gaming avatar profile.
Let me see.
Right click, go to edit server profile. Typically.
Did they tell you that when you're gaming? Golem.
Yeah, no, Frozen Golem. It's a long story. My whole family, we're all golems.
Okay. Oh, that's your last name.
No.
No.
No. Okay.
That's a term of endearment.
Okay. All right. I didn't catch it. I was watching the Lord of the Rings again the other night.
No, we basically I used to play what was called Ages of Empires when I was in college, and first time I ever got involved in a clan or anything like that, and it was the Golems, and so I went with Frozen Golem, and then it's just always been my game avatar,
Kind of a moniker.
even through now. And now that I've got kids and family and everything, when we play together, all my kids wanted to stick with it. So my son's Fire Golem, my wife is Storm Golem, and it's just kind of become our thing.
That's awesome.
Uh,
I was going to say I had some Jewish neighbors when I was a kid. They would call each other Gollum because they were really big kids. They kind of look like golems, but it was a term of endearment for each other. It was pretty awesome to grow up with.
So are we going to continue the trend, or are we going to break? Are we going to have a?
Well, we're outside of this megaphone pattern I drew out on the 1 hour chart.
We
and
are.
We got momentum, and the measured move is crazy. I mean,
I know.
40-70.
You got 40-70. I'm looking at the SPY. I've got. Let's see. Let me blow this up so I can see it better. I mean, we are trending like we took off yesterday. Let's see. Why do I have 100 bars there? I got 401.33.
I'm still trying.
I got 455. I got 401.02. I got 401.24. I got a few levels here. And I got the ADR.
I'm still trying to figure out how to change your server profile.
I think you right click on my name. It should give you the option to change the name.
Holy cow, look at that.
Yeah, she rolling, baby.
Man, she is a rolling. Look, my ADR high, the measured, the market maker move high was like at 399.40 something.
I know what this is. I'm not a server admin, so I think Casper's probably the one.
Casper's going to have to do it.
Sounds good.
Our resident tech genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is freaking amazing.
I'm just figuring out this this whole OBS thing, and I've got.
You got a whole new thing going on. My ADR high is 401.34. Globex high from September 2nd is we're there now. Actually, 455 is what that is. So my next level is a VWAP, previous VWAP at 401.02. So let's see. I'll take a 10 bagger today. Come on, baby.
Hell yeah, I will too.
Oh, if I get the 10 bagger, then I'm going to be in good shape by the end of the day.
I'm watching this 20 period on that 10-second chart real closely.
It's bouncing. Sorry, I'm looking at something else.
All good.
Listen, all that penny stock stuff we learned, all that pre-market stuff, man, that works everywhere.
Yeah, I'm going to pull that real quick. Get that little bounce. Unless it closes a nice wick there. I'm going to pull that.
Jeremy knows I want to make a video. He probably feels it. That's why he wants me to get on OBS.
Yes, dude.
You can feel that I'm getting to that point.
Well, if you look at our YouTube channel, look what I was able to do with it. I was able to put a banner on the bottom with our
cool
affiliates. I was able to put our logo on the bottom corner, put the cameras up on the corner there. And then later on, when we do our live thing later, the after hour show, we're going to call it a show because it's more for entertainment than anything, but we teach some stuff in there. We drop some knowledge.
So what is OBS?
So OBS is an open source broadcasting software that you can use to live stream on YouTube or Twitch or whatever.
Higher is popping.
And it's free and it's open source, and the versatility that you get with it is incredible. I mean, you can put together so much stuff that you couldn't dream of doing on Zoom, and that's why we're going with it.
Okay. No, I got it now. Yeah, I used it when we were live streaming for the churches here in Brazil.
It's very cool software. I love it, and I'm no tech genius. I'll be the first to admit that. But what it comes down to is it's intuitive. You can go and just play with stuff and figure it out, and it makes it real easy to learn. But the coolest part is it'll do so much more than Zoom, and I don't have to worry about different corners of my screen where my chart is, because I can just adjust the whole position of that chart and stick it in a box where nothing interferes with it. Whereas with Zoom, sometimes you get the overlay logo will be on it, or the thumbnail will be over the screen, and you can't really adjust that very well. But with OBS, you can.
My goodness.
Pretty cool stuff.
Oh, let me go check my
Right.
my call.
I got to playing with it last night, and I was just blown away at what I could do with it. I'm like, dude, I'm loving this.
All right. I'm loving the strangle. That's all I
Nice.
got to say. I'm
Yeah.
loving the freaking strangle.
So
I think I am good at swinging.
reiterate that. So like you went and entered the strangle yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a cool thing.
And
So
took profit. Took profit on the downside already because
nice.
it pushed down. I got profit now. I should have taken it earlier, so I got small profit, but I took profit on it. And now I'm in the green right now, and we're at 41%,
And
41.89%.
and
Nice.
I'll tell you there, Paul. That strangle strategy, it's
Mhm.
easy. You could fall off the banana truck and still get it.
I'm sure. I'm sure I
It is.
could get it pretty easily. But I'll be honest right now. I know nothing about it. I know nothing about options. I've tried options 2 or 3 times and failed miserably. So it's a whole nother animal. You know, I mean,
It is.
if doing stocks is like riding a bicycle, trying options is like riding a unicycle. It's just totally different.
Man, you ain't
Uh,
kidding. Listen, doing options is very different. I likened it to walking a tightrope while you're yoked. You got a 2 buckets of water, and you got them on each end of a stick that you're carrying, right? And the buckets of water are constantly the weight is constantly changing. And so
Flushing, yep.
you're trying to walk that tightrope, but that's how it felt. But now I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to get it. Jeremy's been preaching these things for a long time, and teaching us the sweet spots. And but I mean, last night I'm studying freaking theta and delta. I got
So
pictures.
just hypothetical here. Let me just throw something out. And again, I understand there's no such thing as guarantees, but I've got about $500 to work with. Am I able to work that up to where I can be pulling in a few months, pulling in a few $1,000s profit?
Anything's possible. I mean,
Anything's
Yeah.
possible. Yeah.
la- not last week, the week before, during the whole Jackson Hole thing, that
Mhm.
week I started my Tradeovate account with $250 in it, and by Thursday I had it over $1,800. And Friday I closed with enough to pay the bills for 6 weeks. Let's just say that. So
Hmm.
it's pretty neat to be able to do that with that kind of leverage on the MES.
Mhm.
Doing it on options will be a little different, but it's going to also depend on your ability to manage risk. So managing risk on the MES is, as you already know, a really different animal when it comes to comparing to options.
Yeah.
Options
Well,
tend to be
I'm thinking about options.
a bit of a crapshoot because a lot of people just go long and try to hold it overnight. They're not really thinking about all the gears that are turning in an option, all the moving parts. You got time decay, you've got delta, you got implied volatility, all kinds of things running, and it's really hard to even be in the right direction with it and find the best profitability ratio for your options trade. So the idea is if you enter into a position that is basically neutral, but you entered it because you know there's going to be a big move in one direction or the other, but you're not sure which direction. That's the idea of minimizing that risk, and that's what we're talking about with the strangles. So you can do that in a level 1 options account. You can do it with level 2 as well. Anytime you can buy and sell options in an account, you can use this strategy. And it's essentially just buying an out of the money call and out of the money put. A week or so out to
Mhm.
expiration would be best. You can do Friday expirations on a Monday or Tuesday, but I wouldn't play too much with that, especially with SPY. The time decay is vicious. And the idea
Yeah.
is if you expect a big move in SPY the next day, whether it's an overnight gap or something like this where it dips down, he made money on the put and he rode the call back up the trend. I mean, that was just easy to get into, to the point where you can profit on both legs being in a neutral position to start. There's other ways later on you can do that with spreads and have it even more fruitful because then your risk is mitigated by the amount of premium you sold to open a spread. So that's later, but practicing with the strangles overnight, if you know there's going to be a big move, that's what that strategy is for, and you can day trade them too. Mind you, if you have $5,000 in the account, you're going to be bound by PDT, so you're going to be limited to 3 times a week to day trade and have them roll over.
Yeah.
You still can't do that, but remember, if you're day trading a strangle, you're doing 2 day trades in the same day. that's a little rough. And unless you can close the whole thing at once, which counts as one technically, but you got to enter both at the same time, and you got to have level 3 to be able to enter spread. It's complicated, but in a level 1 account under PET rule, the idea is it's better to hold it overnight and
Yeah.
only on times where you're expecting a big move one way or another on the equity
Yeah.
that you're trading the next day.
Yeah.
You can do the same with forward, and you can do it at the money for less risk, and then you can roll them. So the other idea is
It's 4-5, by the way.
to get a little bit more complete. You can go into a strangle on something like forward where the time decay is a lot less, and enter it on Monday, have the expiration the following Friday, and you can roll the legs in and out. So anytime you hold a position overnight, sell it the next day, and then re-enter that position long, that
Yeah.
does not count as a day trade. So you can
Yeah.
repeat that through a whole week, each leg running in and out of it, roll the strangle till the end of the week, and then close it on Friday, and then the next week do the same thing. Just go another week out.
Okay.
So
Well, we'll figure all this out here. You know,
Yeah.
I'll
it's,
keep working on it there. Like I said, you know,
for nothing
I'm
else,
trying.
it opens up the possibilities and combinations that you can do with options, and it gives you
Uh-huh.
an advantage in that because it's a leveraged position. Your risk is mitigated if you trade it correctly, and the idea is don't trade it like a gambler. Don't go and do what these other guys do. Go like 15 strikes out of the money. I'm gonna spend $5 a contract. I'm gonna get like 300 of them, and if this thing moves $1, I'm gonna be
No.
rich. No. Those guys bat for
Yeah.
they swing for the fences and they miss 9 times out of 10. Sometimes they'll get lucky and they'll boast about it, but they're not telling you about how many trades they lost getting there. So
Yeah, I know.
What PM action? Gabrielle?
Hmm?
Somebody says I mentioned about PM action. Where to watch lessons for that? I'm not sure what PM action is.
pre-market action.
Might be.
Yeah, that's
That's what it is.
sometimes my brain works.
We're at a lesson watch for that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do OBS, aren't I? I know what you've been doing. I'm smart.
We'll get you there. You
I'm a
used to
little
do some
smart.
video editing. It should be pretty
I
intuitive.
used to do a lot of video editing, Jeremy.
I mean, there's a minimal amount with the job here, but you know what, dude? It's going to be very rewarding.
Well, it's nothing like I said. Mine was a little bit more heavy duty, so it was a lot when you're doing mini documentaries and
Yeah.
interviews and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, it gets
A
overwhelming.
lot of. Oh, I did a lot of stuff. I had music and I had all the glitz and glamour, all the lower thirds, all the transitions, all the little things that fly in and put up a name and a title, like the news. I had all that stuff. But the stuff you're talking about is just pretty much cut and paste. you know?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a little different.
Well, it's a lot easier.
Oh, that's Warrior Trader.
What's Warrior Trader? I'm not using Warrior.
Gabrielle's Warrior Trader.
Oh, okay.
Changed their name to the real thing, to the real name.
Nice. Okay, I see it now.
Who is talking? Is that Zooey again?
I got
Yeah.
that one. I got that one muted. Was somebody talking, or is it
No.
still background noise?
No, it's Zooey every now and then comes in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got that one muted.
All right. Yeah, we have to get that. I'm gonna do
Dude.
pre-market action. If you're talking about like penny stocks and stuff like that, or we're gonna get into that. Man, I got a lot in my head. I'm putting down in writing actually. So, hang on, folks. We're getting there. Jeremy's been mentoring me now for a year.
I'm looking at the 30-minute chart here. Dude, we've got the makings for a measured move, just like we saw on the 1-hour chart for the MES. That measured move could take us to that mythical 406 pivot again. It's got key resistance coming right up here at about 401. And
401.35 is the ADR high.
yeah,
Also 401.24. Well, actually, let me give you some more levels here. I don't have it all. I'm not gonna. It's chart nasty.
mhm.
I have 401.
Mine's
Oh,
dirtier.
yeah, I know. Yours is dirtier. You're at 401. Keep it clean. 40102 is a previous VWAP. Okay. The 455, that is a Globex high. So that's a pivot. That's from 922. That's a Globex high from the second. And then I've got the high of day for 831, which is 40124. So busy intersection here.
Hmm.
Looking for, you're probably looking to go sideways for a second, maybe.
There's one more line I'm going to put on. I think I just found it.
And on the pre-market stuff, what we're going to do is in penny stocks, I'm going to probably, I'd like to do a little, maybe I'll just do a stream in Discord tomorrow morning. In pre-market, like Scott used to do. Remember that, Jeremy?
Yeah.
He used to do pre-market on Discord.
Yep.
And that's how I learned a lot about pre-market. Maybe I'll do that because I've got some things to help simplify pre-market, and everything I'll show you translates to everything. So price action is price action.
Ideal.
And if it works in one chart, it'll work on all the charts. Does that work?
That sounds great. I'm going to
Okay.
go ahead and pull up just SPY on a single grid. I want to look at some stuff.
Yeah, we're at that time of day where we could just go sideways for a little bit.
There it is.
This might be a little pause in our trend. I don't know if we're going to get a reversal here. That hammer on the SPY at
There it is.
1110.
We could get the extension all the way to 404. That's nuts,
That'd be pretty.
right?
My bank
So-
account would like that a
Oh,
lot.
mine too. I got other trades going that are
I
gonna
bet
be
you
great.
do.
So I'm looking at yeah, just that peak at 401. And it's probably right about 401.40, right in that neighborhood. That is the make it or break it pivot, so to speak. So I'm gonna paint that one like green, like money. There we go. So if we get this measured move out of this trend here, we got the pullback. It's setting up for it. Break that key pivot. We got first leg to 404, second leg to 406. That is very possible to close at 406 today, but I would say probably a more realistic target is going to be that 404. If it breaks that 401, that's probably where it's going.
Let's see, we're at the, we have all those auctions coming up, huh?
Mm-hmm. And
We already had them, I think.
here's the other
Maybe
deal.
Didn't do anything.
2-hour chart and daily chart. We've
Yeah.
got this megaphone, just descending megaphone is pretty important.
Well, I will say this. Apparently, those 30-year bond things and everything did not give us, whoa, we're pushing now.
Yeah, I'm going to probably get back into my long position here.
474. That's good.
Let's see if I can catch it on the right pullback here.
Jeremy, I don't know how you do the moderating and the trading at the same time. That is
It's rough, and I don't always do it
that
well.
is challenging. That is challenging.
Like I said,
I
that
screwed, I
account,
screwed up Tuesday. I shouldn't have even been screwing around with what I did Tuesday.
the account is not that big, and mainly I use it as a demo account. But I mean, it's real money. But it's at a point where I can do one MES contract. Even if I blow this account, I'm not going to be crying because I mean, I'll get those weeks where I get some time to myself and just kill it, and then I don't have to
Couple
worry.
of weak bull bars there.
Yeah, I might take my order off here. I'm not liking that
Couple
either.
of weak bull bars.
This little spinner's telling me to stay back for a minute. I want to see this 5-minute close before I get anything in there, but look at how wide our range is expanding on the
Yeah.
Bollinger Bands.
Let me go look at you over there. I've been listening to you, not looking. Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh yeah, that's wide.
I don't mind.
Dude,
We're
mind
setting up
looking.
for another leg here, but man, this is let's
something
see,
else.
third extension leg. So this is where,
If you're on the 5-minute, that's like, is that the third or fourth?
well, we had that choppy
Right.
consolidation. So you discount that bar. This is where your first, second, and third accumulation is. We're into 4 now.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at UVXY as well. We got another little push right here. Come on, 401. We'll take you.
right?
40102. What is that? That's a previous VWAP. So that's going to be a spot that we'll see if it is attracted to.
That's where I threw down that green pivot 40105.
I think they respect our authority.
I think so.
You
And
were
then-
funny.
Yeah. I was being funny this morning. I had to. So let me go back and look at that 1 hour chart a little more
40187.
simultaneously
If it-
here.
That is a previous.
Blink. There we go.
That is a previous. Man, yeah, we're getting some weak looking candles here. That is a previous. I'll get the words out here in a minute.
That's previous
Profile
high.
edge. It's
Yeah.
a previous profile edge too, 40187. And then I had that was a gap to 40371. So I don't know that that's gonna. I don't know if that level will hold or not, but it might. So yeah, we're getting a little slow right now.
There's a key pivot.
Yeah, I get real careful when we're trading under 200K on the SQ.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm trying to put this at 415. It's just not working out.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on news-wise.
So
Where our volume profiles go again?
4015 is a key pivot here from this previous move and rejection. That's why we're getting these weak candles coming up into the Globex high, or pushing that
Okay.
Globex high up.
We're not having our volume. Do you have your volume profile? I didn't look.
It disappeared on me. Like
Mine's gone too.
it glitched and went away. I have no idea
That's we have to talk to them about that because that thing.
why. Oh, it's
works.
useful. Yes, sir. So we've got kind of a space zone, I call it here, where you get control candles that are not quite there. I'm going to put that as a space zone. So you got previous high, a secondary high, as if you were treating this giant thing like it was a big double bottom, right? So this is going to be your resistance point. This is your R1 back here. So if you look at your L1, oh, I can kind of call this H1 now if it gets to that point. L2, just like a double bottom, you look at your next pivots for your targets, and we've got all these consolidation points where we're likely to see a little pullback and consolidation within that price action. So if this remains bullish,
35.
let's see, we got 4024, another control bar in a 1 hour, right up here at 4045.
Yeah, it's having problems there.
And then we got, and then a lot of the analysts on the floor, like I was looking at an interview yesterday. I forget the guy's name. Big technical trader kind of guy. Trades for some hedge fund or another. I think it's like Lightbridge or one of those guys. Damn, get in there. Was talking very similar. So this looks like a relief rally in a bearish market, right? Well, it's still a measured move, and the half measured move is going to be right in that first extension, about 416, in a space between there and about 425. So we could get these little, where you get the wicks popping out of those control candles to the left. You can expect to see some consolidation or some sort of weakness in the trend there until the next 1 hour candle is on the map. Now, if you look at momentum indicators, like I do with FSTO here, you can see it remained kind of pegged in the upper region for quite a while. But then this didn't make any sense. Momentum pulled back and it's still gapped up, right? So that's just where the trend was strong. This was an unexpected move, and that was probably the news event that was leading up to Jackson Hole. That was Jackson Hole.
Are you using the slow stochastic or the fast stochastic?
This one's just stochastic, so it's probably just slow, but I usually use a fast
I prefer slow.
stochastic.
Yeah.
Well, I'm typically trading on a much shorter time frame, so the slow doesn't always give me the divergence signals that I look for on smaller charts. So I'll run the fast, but on this particular time frame, I'll use the regular standard, which is slow.
Oh, really interesting here.
But we've got a lot of extensions to make up. We've got a lot of control bars that we're going to watch for levels. And then if we get into a pullback situation, There's even a control zone that would be a 50% retracement of this current 1 hour candle. So let's look at our 5-minute chart real quick.
Okay. Let's see. I always go back and look at other days that are similar.
Way out here.
This is interesting there. So this could just go sideways for a minute. Might roll over here.
I'm going to take my
We're gonna
previous
wait.
pivots that I had set up on that 5-minute chart a long time ago. I'm just going to extend the crap out of them. And I'm going to add 2 more.
Yeah, I don't see anything really econ news. We do have a few things. The Fed Vice Chair is going to speak at 1:35. We have the
Here's the
EIA
break.
short-term energy at
Boom.
1.
Did it break down or up?
Oh,
Down.
MNQ broke down. It broke my line there. Snagged a quick 10.
Nice. Good work. That's what's
So,
great about day trading futures, man. You can scalp
Yeah.
all these little moves and just all these little base hits stack up, dude. Every $10 bill makes a difference.
yeah. Well, now we're back up $20 positive, which is good. Like I said, that MES move squeezed me out before I got it cut off, but that's okay.
Yeah. I just couldn't give it the attention that it deserved because I'm doing all this. So it's like
Yeah.
I'll trade it every now and then, but like I'll say a disclaimer, like if you're watching me live, don't just jump into trades I do. Look at what I'm saying, not what I'm doing, so to speak. So
We have an absorption level here that we're literally bouncing off the absorption level right now on the MNQ, probably the same as the MES.
yeah, it's looking like consolidation to me too.
Well, where all those lines are sitting, that's the absorption level. That's where the limit orders are placed.
Yes, sir.
So you have an absorption level on the bottom, and then that last candle, the 2 candles there that are equal. Yeah, that's where your other absorption level is.
And we can see a lot of this is algo and retail because ordinarily when you see a institutional trade, they don't usually trade the MES. It'd be better to see on the ES, but you'd see big volume bars stick out and stay. They won't move.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me flip this to an ES chart just for S&G purposes. This is a technical term I like to use. There we go. Now we can see those bars. See, there's your institutional orders right there. These guys here that just stand. So usually they try to roll in whole $5 bills, right? So here's one right at 4,000. Let's see if I can see the.
Well, you got volume profile on that, don't you?
Yeah, it came back. Maybe it's just
Only
with
on that.
MES.
Only on the ES.
But you can see all these ones that are like halfway points between like the next $5 bill. They'll put them out there and then they yank them off the book. So like if you're watching order flow, that's when you see all those orders get pulled at the last second when price is like 1 tick away. They put those orders there and retail falls for it because they're watching on volume profile and they're like, oh yeah, that's a demand zone, that's a supply zone. Well, the market maker is going to sit there and be like, okay, we don't care what you do between 4,000 and 4,005. We really don't. But if you're going to go and chase us and try to beat our ass down or beat our bid down, bring it because we can pull that order so fast to the last tenth of a second. You're not going to have a chance.
Here we go.
There's the break, and we're looking at 4,000 as a target for this pullback because that's where that institutional order is sitting, right?
So you see this as a pullback, perhaps, and it's not a breakover all the way?
For now, it's a pullback. If it becomes a breakover, then we start looking further out and we start looking at our longer-term charts and figure out, okay, well, where's the next control bar? Well,
right.
There is a control base right here at 4,001, which is where I would probably set my order to close. Because I know at 4,000 there's a whole bunch of institutional orders sitting right there on ES. And that control bar is right here. That 1 minute candle at 11 o'clock. But bam, plain as day.
What am I looking for?
There is support in this structure here, but it's very weak. And if it doesn't gain momentum and start rolling back underneath that support level, I can just bail. I'm not gonna cry if I take a small loss on that.
What time is it? 11:31,
yeah,
52
11:31.
seconds.
Yeah, I'm about ready to call it too, because I got to get a bunch of stuff done before close today, because I got to get OBS up and ready for our live after hour show.
Is it a download to your computer? Is it a heavy program?
Not too heavy. It's not massive.
I got that TOS on my computer. That's the only thing I'm concerned about.
Yeah, that thing.
I had to get a separate. I had to buy a computer to run TOS
Yeah.
with 32 gigs
Yep.
of RAM, and it uses them. And every now and then, I mean, and I still can only use two. I can only use the main grid, where I can flip to other charts.
Right.
And I can only use one pop out. If I use three, it starts slowing everything down. That's my concern about putting too much
Right.
stuff on this computer.
Not a problem. I can
So,
run it from my end, and then
I'm
what we'll
hoping
do
it'll
is
work.
well,
You got a desktop, don't you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I've got mine's a Dell XPS.
Ah,
It's a laptop though.
newer one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comes with a Type C, so you can plug in as many monitors as you want.
Hmm.
There's another institutional order right there at 4010.
Yeah, I'm running 2 monitors on this thing too. Plus its deal.
Yeah, when it didn't break down, I went ahead and got out, broke even.
I'll wait for a pullback, but I can see I'm probably going to have to close this for a small loss. Unless it breaks now.
It
That's
might.
a big bar.
Yeah.
I'll sit with it. I'm patient because I'm looking at the 1 minute chart. It's looking pretty weak right here. Although I want to let this close here.
I play it super conservatively when we keep trading under that 200K mark because it does not take much to move it one direction or the other, regardless of technicals.
Yep, for sure.
I've seen this kind of action where it'll immediately go the opposite direction, 3 huge bars, just.
Yeah, we love seeing diamonds do
Face
that.
off.
Diamonds will give you a fake out and then they'll rip a face off in the other direction. Very typical. There's a
Yeah, I
bar
had one of
spinner
those
bar right
earlier.
here.
In a penny stock I was looking at.
What do you mean by diamonds? That's something I'm not.
Diamonds are neat.
Diamond pattern.
Is that an indicator? Oh, the diamond pattern.
Diamond pattern.
Pattern.
Okay. I was looking for an indicator. Gotcha.
So it's a time where you find at the end of a trend, you'll find range expansion, and then immediately it goes into range contraction. It forms basically a diamond with price action. And the idea is you can run trend lines along the top and bottom on all 4 sides of that diamond, and oftentimes you'll find trend lines that will be respected later. So the first part of it is if that upper trend line for the bullish move on the opening slope of range expansion top, line that out. Oftentimes it'll give you what it will close at if it remains bullish. But the next day, and just before the Jackson hole, we had one of those. It went right to that upper trend line at close, and then the next day the lower trend line from the first part of the expansion was your first pullback in that bearish trend, where it started to accumulate, and it set up that exact trade point to where we got both legs of that measured move on the way down. It was just sick. So diamond patterns are kind of neat. They don't always follow through, but when they do, they're pretty nice to trade because you get huge range. So watch for diamonds when you see them. Definitely keep an eye on them.
I think we may end up going up
Might,
on MQ and ES.
this might pop here.
Yeah, I think it will because if you look at the STO here, we've worked our way up into we're sitting around 80.
Yeah, we got
right
bullish
now.
divergence right there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I might have to flip that order.
That's why I went ahead at the at that bar when it didn't break like I anticipated it would. I cut it.
It's setting up accumulation for another leg of a measured move here, isn't it?
I think so.
If it breaks that 40-10-75, it'll do it. Ho 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 ho! Wow! Look how fast they just smoked that sucker. Wow! All right, hang in there. I might just close this at a break even or a profit.
Yeah. Sometimes a break even is a win.
Indeed. But I'm gonna wait for the next setup for sure. I'm not just gonna jump into that. I was looking at the break here. I was looking to get in ahead of the break, and that's why we trade the break rather than the setup. That's a lesson
Yeah.
learned right there.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll place the order below that graphic I post in the group. I'll place my order below one of those lines or above one of those lines.
Good way to play. Oh, give us a nice inverted hammer close on the 5-minute that breaks the base of that wick from the previous green hammer. That would be awesome, because then we set up for a leg down through the 20 period.
Looks like it
And
wants to break now.
I think so.
Let me see what I got going on over. I had to step away for a minute.
Last chance for love.
Yep.
There it goes. Head for my limit order, please. And now it's back in range on this control bar right here.
Yep. Yeah, she bounced right back up a bit.
If this doesn't leg over here, I'm going to probably just bop out of this, but
Yeah.
this is where you get really zoomed in on a 10-second chart.
Yeah, it's really weird, that volume profile, but it's right at that spot on the ES, isn't it?
It is. They got that order sitting at 4,000. It hasn't moved.
Might be moving now.
And sometimes they'll pull those at the last tick too. And they'll just let it drop. That's a big buy order though, dude. That's a lot. I don't know what the share count is in that, or what the contract count is in that, but it's big enough to stick out that far. Boom, nailed me. Nice. Quick little 15er. Being patient through this chop, that took nerve. But looking at that 1 minute, I was like, it can still reject here. Like I said, I'm better trading for myself in private than I am doing it in public. It's just sometimes I'll just trade it just to show a trade.
Mm-hmm.
All right, watch that ES order carefully, and look, they bumped it right to that 401. See that? Oh, 40.50. 4,050 cents. That's a fake ledge. They're gonna pull that. Watch. Boom. Done. Watch this one. Gone. Love market makers, man. Very cool. I could have stayed in that. I'm okay with it. I gotta get signed off, eat some lunch, and get some other stuff done so we can get ready for our evening thing. And then Stone, I'll probably have to sit with you for a minute if it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
So you trade in the evening too?
No.
No, just we're doing Thursdays. We're doing like kind of a recap thing where we can kind of recap the trading week, talk about some stuff, drop some knowledge,
Gotcha.
shoot the breeze, and just keep the witty banter flowing.
I usually try to be done around. Well, I like to try to be done around between noon and 1. That way I can make runs. We drop off food to some families and stuff like that.
There you go.
So
Central time? You Central time?
me?
Yeah.
No. I'm oh gracious, I don't even remember what it's called. I am 1 hour ahead of Eastern Standard. So right now it is 12:40 here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, good. So okay, that's good. That lets me know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I am on Tempo Brasileiro. So we only have one time zone right now here.
There is your pivot right there. 39.
On the pivot at 399.48 on SPY.
Essentially just retrace the first leg or the last leg here. And this is I wonder if I can make an example out of this. It's choppy. There was that stuff we ignored. There was accumulation 1, 2, 3. We got to 4. We're pulling back to 3. Kind of a typical penny stock setup, man. We used to see these all the time. If accumulation 3 breaks out, it's usually pretty big, but it's usually a measured move of the distance from 2 to 3, and it peaked almost to the penny on that one, right? Now we're coming back down. Everybody took profit. Bears have control. They're going to run it down below this pivot, probably go to the support level of accumulation 2. And look, there's a bunch of volume down here too, so there's a big gap, liquidity gap right there. So I got to sign off in a minute, or otherwise I put a trade on and just ride that, but for now I've got stuff to do. Anyway, we'll see you guys this evening on our YouTube channel, and we'll bring the after hours live probably right around 4:30. Give us a little time to set up. We're running some different stuff to stream here, so it's going to be a little bit of me going back and forth with the guys that we can get everything set up, and then we'll come out live. So look for us around 4:30. We'll probably, if worst case scenario, we'll start. We'll just stream the setup too. We'll stream while we're talking about the setup. Why not? All right then. Well, we'll see you guys later. Have good. And hopefully we can make some sense of this price action.